um, even if someone is rock star, but if they don't have a culture fit, then it's very hard for the employees to get more engagements. And the top performer becomes demotivated. And one of the things that I want to share with you, when you actually hire a top performer, uh, during the interview, one of the questions that will be useful is to actually understand when someone become a top performer in their company, you need to understand the environment in the company that enable them to become a top performer. So that's why you will see that in the markets, some people, when they move to this company, they were rock star. When they move to another company, they're like very struggling, and move to another company, it's also has a um, different dynamics. So I think that this dynamics is very important for us to understand what enable the top performer to perform so well in their company before you take them into your company. Because doesn't mean that you get a top performer that you will get the right results. If you in the tech industry, um, you can ask them, it's something like whether you choose methodology, either you use Kanban or Sprint, Sprint or Kanban, right? So either you use Sprint or Kanban, there's no right or wrong, but you need to understand that if the company, in their previous company, actually practice Kanban, basically more collaborative manner, and then your company deliver things individually, you appreciate people who work on their own and deliver as according to the checklist that you want, chances are they may still perform, but for them to stay loyal in your company will take it's going to be very hard, because let's say people in the collaborative environment, they used to not just deliver what they need to deliver, but they have passion in coaching other people to become better and deliver better. So when they join a new company, they don't have that opportunity. So it's like their passion is not being fulfilled. So it's just a time bomb, like maybe they work for you for 1 year and then they will just leave your company. Secondly is that knowing that Malaysian market is not the Silicon Valley market. This is very important. I've seen so many companies are trying to emulate the Silicon Valley style. If you are trying to, if you just paying a fraction of price and expecting that kind of delivery and commitment, I think it wouldn't be fair. So whatever that you learn in Silicon Valley is great, but take your time to rethink and also try to include Asian wisdom. We Asian has our culture and our way of doing things. You need to mix that and take into consideration in order to make sure that they all be able to perform. And employees threatening to resign, this is basically a normal thing. This is a top 6 problem that I usually be engaged for. So if you realize these 6 problems are highlighted, mainly related to change management, because change will involve loss. When there is a change, there's always a loss and there's always a gain. For example, let's say you're being transferred to another division of your same company, right? It could be good, it could be bad. Like for example, in the previous division, you probably love your desk, your colleague. You have your own coffee spot or safe spot for yourself. Then suddenly, when you move to a next division, you find yourself struggling because you feel the loss of things that you love, but you didn't get a chance, proper goodbye, and then shifted to another new environment. I think to get our followers to shift from what they like, what they used to like, to what we want them to be, is going to be a big challenge. I tell you, it has been challenging and until today. So I would like to introduce you to the Kubler-Ross grief cycle. So this is one of the way to understand change management. So when you introduce something new, There will usually people who accept it, but there are plenty of people, or maybe half of them, will fall under denial and anger because maybe they are forced to lose something in the company, and they are in denial state. They start gossiping about you. They start to create the WhatsApp group without the boss. I'm sure there are many of that kind of things. And then they start trashing anger, and then influence each other, and they become a toxic. One reason because they didn't spend the time to understand the denial, anger, and depression, and help the employees or the team members to move from where they are to where you want them to be. So I think this effort has always been neglected. You work for me, I pay you a salary. I want you to do this, and don't do this now. I want you to do this and focus on this one. Without even having an empathy, trying to understand the position of the employee. What are their struggles? And that has caused a bomb to the company. This effect has been translated to their growth, because at the end of the day, they have to spend time fighting internally, and also to kick someone out from the company is not easy. Someone means can be employee, and the worst if the co-founder. If you don't put time to understand the challenges and the struggles, and how to help them to shift or change from what they were before to what you want them to be, I think it's gonna cause them a problem.